This is literally the definition of a super fight. So
what hides behind that line is even wilder. A lightweight ruler riding a 15-fight streak climbs a weight class, while the welterweight on 18 straight storms and fresh off-beating Belal Muhammad for the crown. That's not matchmaking, that's a controlled demolition with judges present. If Legacy had a sound, it'd be the MSG printers overheating. One champion brings time-dilating top control and cold-blooded shot selection, the other drags momentum like a comet tail and treats pace like a weapon. On paper it reads champ versus champ. Between the lines it's patience versus pressure, leverage versus avalanche. Every feint costs interest. Every scramble taxes lungs. The first mistake won't be a moment, it'll be a montage. Technical reality check, frame traps everywhere. Long-range entries get punished, clinch breaks, trigger counters, and anyone relaxing on the fence is signing an IOU with their chin. Both corners know it. Both corners still believe their guy bends physics. Hard to believe a building can get louder than this matchup, but the Garden's about to try, and that's only announcement number 1. The Fuse Dana lights next, somehow hotter than the walkout pyros.
UFC strawweight champion Weili Zhang has accomplished all there is to accomplish at 115 pounds, so she's now going to vacate her title and move up and challenge Valentina Shevchenko for the flyweight championship in the co-main event of UFC 322. Number 1 pound for pound versus number 2 pound for pound. Talk about another super fight.
That's not a move up, that's a hostile takeover with 4-ounce gloves. The strawweight queen drops her crown just to kick in the door of flyweight's fortress. 0 half measures, all smoke. Translation without the PR polish, Apex Predator versus Apex Predator. Shevchenko owns flyweight's ledger. Most wins, most KOs, most takedowns at 125, while Weili, the first Chinese UFC champion, brings heat with 19 finishes in 26 and is chasing the rare badge of being only the second woman to hold belts in 2 divisions. Picture the geometry, surgical counters meeting forward pressure blitzes, angle changes that look like trap doors, a pace that punishes anyone who blinks during the pocket exchanges. And somehow, this is just the co-main. The next Fuse Dana lights? Hotter than the walkout pyros.
Also on the card of UFC 322, former champion Leon Edwards returns to take on everybody's favorite, number 9 ranked Carlos Pradas. Carlos is an absolute fucking beast. He's got 5 wins in the UFC and 5 knockouts. So UFC 322, do not miss this one, November 15th at Madison Square Garden.
That setup hums like a live wire. Championship composure walking straight into a 100% finish rate. This isn't a tune-up, it's a dare wrapped in gloves. Everybody's favorite usually translates to nobody's comfortable. Edwards brings measured pressure and economy, death by denial, while Protas treats distance like a rumor and the fence like a trampoline. One man erases mistakes, the other manufactures them. The math is nasty and simple. 5 UFC wins, 5 KOs. You don't negotiate with that. You manage the clock, the angles, and your heartbeat. If Leon keeps the fight in the quiet spaces, he's piloting. If Protas turns the cage into a racetrack, we're timing echoes off the rafters. Hard to believe this sits under 2 super fights. But here we are, MSG stacking dynamite like it's confetti. Abu Dhabi's up next, and the headliner there doesn't just shake the division, it tilts the building.
I also want to update you on 321 in Abu Dhabi on October 25th, which will be headlined by the undisputed UFC heavyweight championship between Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane.
Not a belt, a tectonic plate. Heavyweight royalty, no asterisks, no interim adjacent footnotes. 2 styles that make smart men pick dumb sides. One glides like he's on rails, the other slices time into pieces and charges interest on every exchange. This is the fight where feints feel like invoices. You don't just check kicks, you co-sign them. The pocket is a toll road, and every entry costs posture, balance, and a small piece of nerve. Context check, October 25th, Abu Dhabi. The word undisputed isn't decoration here. It's the price of admission and the headline carved in stone. Hard to believe a division famous for chaos is about to deliver something this clean. Top of the mountain versus top of the mountain, with gravity cheering for both. And because one earthquake isn't enough, the same night crowns a new strawweight champion, and that grappling storm is next.
There will be a new UFC strawweight champion in Abu Dhabi as number 1 ranked contender. Virna, Jandiroba, takes on number 5 ranked Mackenzie, Dern. This is a very high-level fight between 2 of the best grapplers in the division.
If jiu-jitsu had a concert hall, this would be the headliner. 2 technicians turning the mat into a maze with hidden trapdoors. Here's the clean read, no PR gloss, just stakes. Jandiroba is a BJJ black belt world champion with 14 of her 15 finishes by submission, riding a 5-fight win streak. Dern is one of the most accomplished BJJ athletes ever to touch MMA and holds the UFC strawweight record for most submission wins. That's not style versus style, it's pressure versus precision inside the same language. Expect grip fighting to feel like chess clocks ticking, half guards become spring-loaded, scrambles tax lungs, and a single wrist ride can snowball into a back take that ends the night. Hard to believe a vacant crown could feel this inevitable, but someone's leaving with fresh hardware. And right after the aria, the tempo spikes. Bantamweight turbulence. Umar versus Bautista. Speed kills.
All right, what else do I got here? Also being added to UFC 321, two of the best bantamweights. Number 2 ranked Umar Nurmagomedov takes on Mario Bautista, who is ranked number 8. He's been grinding his way up in the rankings, and it's going to be a fun one, too.
This matchup brings spare ammo. Shot fakes turn into level changes turn into panic sprawls, and the scramble meter redlines by default. One shuts doors, the other picks locks. That's the whole thesis. Cage cut versus cage break, shoulder pressure versus spring-loaded hips. Top 2 against top 8 means every mistake writes its own obituary, and grinding his way up isn't a compliment here. It's a warning label. Wild that this was introduced like an add-on because it plays like a main card landmine. High pace, high leverage, 0 safe zones, which leaves the towers and the wake-up call. Volkov versus Almeida, then the LHW opener, slam the lid, light the crowd.
Rounding out the main card for UFC 321. First, number 2 ranked heavyweight Aleksandar Volkov taking on Jailton Almeida. Volkov is one of the most intimidating guys in the heavyweight division at 6'7". He has 24 wins by knockout, and Almeida is a great grappler who's finished 21 of his 22 wins.
A moving lamppost versus a hydraulic press. That's the vibe. One stretches the cage with a jab that needs a wide-angle lens. The other turns takedowns into quicksand and clocks into suggestions. Context stays nasty. Tower striker versus vice grip grappler. The numbers already shout finish. Hard to believe rounding out feels this dangerous. Most cards would headline with this.
Opening the main card, light heavyweight Aleksandar Rakic, and he'll be taking on Azamat, who's ranked number 11, Murzakanov.
Not a warm-up, a wake-up. Door shuts, tempo spikes, and the first exchange decides who gets to breathe with their hands down. Context, ranking leverage at second 1. Clean entries get rewarded. Lazy resets get taxed. Disbelief mode, an opener that reads like a co-main because apparently everyone showed up sharp.
That's it. That's all I got. That's UFC 321's main card. Every fighter on this card is ranked.
Sounds like marketing. Feels like a warning label. A main card with no filler is a rare animal, and this one has teeth on every bout sheet.